What is the best wood to smoke beef on? In this experiment, I'm going to put it to a test, smoking 6 sirloin steaks over 6 popular smoking woods to see which one tastes best, which one tastes worse, or whether the difference is even noticeable. So we're going to fill up our chimney, get that lit, wait until the coals are nice and hot and we've got that nice blue smoke, and then we'll dump our coals into the smoker. So obviously this is a pretty unusual cut to be smoking, but I needed a cut that I could smoke quite quickly and get a lot of smoke into it in a short space of time. If we're using brisket or short ribs, it's going to take us 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours to cook it and to get that smoke in, whereas this, I was able to get enough smoke into it within about an hour, and we can really taste the smoke. So the last steak on the mesquite wood is just coming off the smoker. We're going to give all of the steaks a quick reverse sear, let them rest for a second, slice them up, ready to start our taste test. Okay, so I've cooked the steak on the applewood, cherrywood, maple, oak, hickory, and mesquite. First up, we've got applewood. Oh, that's really good. So in our previous experiments, when we did this test with pork and chicken, the applewood was really subtle, and it is here. What I really like about this is that the steak is still really front and center. It's not kind of really overpowered by the smoky taste. It's there, but it's in the background. It's really nice. That's a big fan of that. So next up, I'm going to try a cherry. So obviously also a fruit wood. In the previous test we've done, the cherry has been a little bit more punchy than the apple. So let's see how this goes. I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. It was kind of neither here nor there. It wasn't a kind of really strong smoky taste like what I'm expecting we're going to get with mesquite and hickory, but it also wasn't subtle. It was kind of somewhere in the middle and almost a bit on the fence. So yeah, it's okay. It doesn't not work, but I probably wouldn't choose cherry as my first choice for beef. Next up, let's try maple. When we smoked the pork on maple, it was absolutely delicious. I mean, there's a reason why Canadians have maple syrup with their bacon. This is amazing. Was the chicken massively overpowered? It kind of just tastes like I'm eating like smoke. It almost makes it start to taste a bit like pastrami. It's nice, but it's not steak. The maple flavor is really starting to kind of overcrowd the taste of the steak. So what I like about the apple and cherry is it still tastes like steak, whereas this tastes like something else, kind of like hot pastrami. Okay, next we're gonna try oak. I'm thinking this is gonna be good. That's really good. Again, similar to the apple, what's really nice, it's not too in your face. It just complements the kind of beef steak taste really nicely, similar to the apple. Unlike maple and cherry, which kind of, it was almost like 60% smoke, 40% steak taste. This is kind of really letting the beef flavor sing through, but the smoke is really adding to it. So yeah, big fan of that. Let's try hickory. So hickory is a pretty strong flavored smoke. That smells good. Oh yeah. So that's really strong. That's got a really strong smoky taste, but in a positive way. This has got a really nice flavor to it. It's really smoky. That's awesome. Okay, so lastly, we've got mesquite. Again, this is a pretty strong flavored smoke. So let's see how we go. That's different, for sure. I'm not a big fan of that. It almost changes the flavor a little bit, makes it a bit sweeter. I think if I'm gonna go for a strong flavor, I'm gonna go hickory. So I've tasted all 6 pieces of the smoked steak. If I had to rank them from best to worst, I'd probably go oak, hickory, apple, maple, mesquite, cherry. But they all worked. The difference between them was pretty subtle, and the big lesson for me from this is that there are so many things in barbecue that make a bigger difference than the type of wood we're using. The quality of meat, the temperature we're cooking at, how we're smoking it, how we're cooking it, are all gonna make way more difference than the smoking wood that we're using. So my advice would be there's no need to go and get 6, 7, 8 bags of smoking chunks. You can buy 1 or 2, get to know them, and you'll be absolutely fine. So if you enjoyed this experiment, click on the screen and I'll see you in the next experiment.